to those beautiful people of Sangre Grande who came out this evening in order to really discuss matters that are much pressing and more important to us. This evening is really not about us speaking to you, but rather you speaking to us. Because as Khadija said earlier on, budget consultation is just what it is. It is what do you want out of this budget. Too far we have seen that governments would have presented budgets, but they only speak to a certain segment of society. We have chosen the local government forum because this is where it's closest to the ground. This is where politics is really the closest to us. And if you don't tell us what you want, how will we be able to really say what you want in the parliament? So this evening is for you to really express your views. How are you feeling today about what is going to happen on the 26th of September? Because many of you all by now would know that Minister Imbert, and I dare say the worst Minister of Finance Trinidad and Tobago has ever seen, will be presenting his 8th budget on the 26th of September 2022, this month. And he's going to bring a very long-winded budget about how well they stabilize the economy. Sangre Grande, do you feel the effects of that? Do you feel the effects of the billions of dollars that have been spent so far by this PNM government?
No.
Are you feeling safe in your homes?
No.
Is food prices high?
Yes.
And what is the government doing? They are not doing anything to benefit the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Rather, the ministers in this PNM government are the ones who are benefiting. And I have authority to say that because over the past 6 to 7 years the Rowley government was in power, his ministers have recused themselves over 200 times from cabinet. Do you know what that means? That means that every single time a decision was made, either a minister or their family benefited from that decision. That is what it means, you know. Over 200 times they have recused themselves from the cabinet. So when we hear they spend all of these billions of dollars, you have to really ask yourself whether or not it is touching you. Because when we go in the budget to respond to Minister Imbert, when the leader of the opposition goes, we will be using what you tell us in these forums, because we have been all over the country, as Khadija would have told you, asking the people, what do you want us to say on your behalf? And tonight we want to hear loudly from Sangre Grande, what do you want in this budget? What do you want us to tell the government? Because this is a deaf government. A government that simply does not care for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And we are very gracious that the councillors and the aldermen of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation has hosted us here this afternoon. And first, on the platform, I would like to bring my brother, Nassar Hussein, who is the councillor for Sangre Grande Northwest, to really bring greetings to us. I know both me and Nassar have the same last name, but I don't know if you're related. Nassar.
Thank you very much, MP Saddam Hussein. I have to say Assalamu alaikum, Sitaram, Namaste. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable MPs, fellow council members, ladies and gentlemen. Now, looking back to 2016 to this day, I'm going to answer two questions. Are you better off today or happy today? No. Right. Looking back to 2016 to this day, has your standard of living improved since then to now? No. Well, let's hope that this upcoming budget will make you happy. All right? But you know for a fact, the Minister of Finance likes to use a lot of big language and quote billions of dollars, right? That the average person like me and you don't understand. They quoted millions of dollars, and sometimes $1 does not end up in your pocket. Because I know you're feeling the feeling out there. You're feeling the hurt out there. Alright, while walking the ground, I'm seeing it. So, I would like to see the following being done. You know, like equitable distribution of finance to all corporations, equitable distribution of food cards. Well, you know, I've been given complaints by many businesses that food cards, you know, since 2016. I don't know if it's political affiliation, right? Wasn't that. But poor people are the ones who are being cut. I would like to see equitable distribution of grants by social welfare, you know. But I'm being told that we have to finish at a certain time today, so I wouldn't come down with all these pieces I have here, right? I would like to see equitable distribution of URP and Sept jobs. Now, what I've noticed through the years, from the moment they recognize you as a UNC supporter, that's the end of the story with you, know. Nada, nothing, no opportunity for employer. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Thank you. So, now I didn't want to talk about potholes and so on because that's the last and the least, because somebody put up some two fig trees on around that street. But I want to go and do some other videos on it, right? But the last time I checked, my colleagues and I checked that there are approximately 600 plus potholes in Sangre Grande Northwest and surrounding districts, Sangre Grande South and so on. Now, the thing is, no material. That is the claim, right? No release of funds. No release of funds. There are allocations, but no release of funds. And there is a word that I always use, like this government has been doing all the time, what we call suppression of funds. They are suppressing us, they are having us in distress. We are at the whims and fancies of taxi drivers and so on, criticizing us and so on. But I want to let them know that we have lake asphalt in Trinidad and Tobago. Petrochem produces the tar, or what we call bitumen, a big word. But it's tar. And yet still, we cannot fix a pothole, right? In Sangre Grande North and surrounding areas, Tabanas, Sangre Grande South, even Valencia West, Valencia East, Toko. No, something is terribly wrong here, you see? Now, they closed down Petrochem, already remember that? They closed down Consultation. Right? So that means that how long are we going to import tar or bitumen? Are we going to do that? So, but how long are you going to wait for that? These are the sort of things I want to see introduced in this upcoming budget. That and the release of funds, release of funds. Let's fix the people's business. Right? Don't talk about water supply by WASA. That is a dream come true in areas such as Wabande, Madu Singh Drive, Farm Road, Picton Extension, Blake Avenue Extension. These people are suffering, you know. And you know, the thing is, they were getting regular water supply, constant regular supply. But as soon as the road is paved, little or no flow in the pipe. You know, little or no flow at all. The residents are crying out loud. Every day, every single day. I have visits from each one of them on office days and so on. Now, let's give it 30 seconds, please. Here. There are calls for hampers, water, employment, food cards, and so on, right? But please know that the councillors, I want to inform you all, because many people come for food cards. Councillors don't handle that. We are not privy to that, right? So, you know, if the PNM is doing it, giving out, I don't know. But we are rich in minerals and aggregates, but yet still the profits does not reach down to the people. Now, last but not least, people simply want their basic needs such as food, clothing, and shelter, and employment. In closing, I want to warn this government, the money does not belong to the PNM government, but belongs to every individual here in Trinidad and Tobago. And last but not least, do not, I want to warn the Minister of Finance, you know they like to interfere with the HSF fund. Please, do not interfere with the Heritage and Stabilization Fund. That is savings for our children's future. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Hussein, for that very informative presentation. Next on my list, I would like to ask Alderman Susan Hola to bring greetings on behalf of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation also.
A pleasant good afternoon to my UNC family. I want to say a special good afternoon to the leader of our great party. Good afternoon to our campaign manager, Mr. Firoz Khan, and other members of NATEX. This evening, members, I will not be speaking for long because time is limited. You all have heard the sentiments of our MP, Saddam Hussein. I will speak on social development issues. As we know, school is about to reopen on Monday, the 5th of September, and it will be the lowest turnout that we will ever have in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Simply because parents just do not know where to turn or who to turn to.
Correct.
Under our leader, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, as Prime Minister of this country, there were grants available for the vulnerable in society. Today it is not so. Our leader even asks, even cry out to the Prime Minister of this country for a one-time grant for the school children in Trinidad and Tobago, and it is to no avail. We know that for the past 2 years, how many parents lose their job. They don't have a job. They cannot provide meals for their children, much more to buy books and uniform. And this government, this careless, reckless government, who don't have a heart, what the cries of our leader fall under their face. He ignored the request to supply that grant for those school children. What more, as a nation, we have to endure under this government? What more? What more? Today I could safely say that the PNM must go, you know. We had enough of the PNM. We cannot endure no more. I want this to go down in history after the opening of school Monday, that it was and or will be the lowest turnout of students in Trinidad and Tobago. Parents going to social welfare to access grants. They are not getting it because, as I said already, when they recognize that you support the United National Congress, your request will be automatically dismissed by them, because the grants that they have available is only for the PNM. Presently, the PNM is on the ground sharing lots of goodies for the reopening of school. But any one of you sitting here tonight could say if your child was a recipient of anything that they had to offer. None of you could say that. But all the vulnerable, all who they believe vulnerable and their good friends, they have things to show that they get to return to school on Monday. You all, I am asking you all to take a stand for what is right. Take a stand. Let this government know that you had enough. And whatever the country has to offer, it is not for one political arm, but it is for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. All of us are taxpayers. We pay tax on a daily basis. And our children are supposed to benefit from what the land has to offer. I went to a home last week. Last week I went to a home and I saw the family cooking on wood fire. When I asked, I said, I like this, you know, because it's something I really like to see wood fire at some time. When I asked the question, I said, this looking nice, what all you about? They say it's not what we are about, you know. We don't have money to buy gas. So we have no other choice but to turn to the wood fire. So we are not going forward, we are going backward simply because of this government. Another thing, water. Water is one of the things that we are seriously being disturbed by in this region. I don't know for what reason. Nobody could tell you why, but sometimes we have no water for 4, 5, and 6 days. The people, and I'm speaking about people who are paying a water bill. We pay a water bill and we cannot get water. My people, we are going backward and not forward, and it's time that we hold this Rowley government accountable for the shortcomings that we are being faced with. When the time comes to pay your water bill, you're not going to pay less than you're supposed to pay. You will have to pay the same bill for less water. And we cannot continue as a government in this way. I am asking you all to take a stand and stand up for what is right. Tonight, I want to send a special greeting to our coordinator, Mr. Joe Tony. Mr. Joe Tony celebrated his birthday yesterday. And Mr. Joe, I'm here on behalf of the party and members of the party to say happy birthday to you. I want to thank each and every one of you tonight for coming out and to continue to partake in our pre-budget discussion.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh.
Thank you very much, all of us. The next person I'm going to bring on the podium is a very young, hard-working, dynamic councillor we have in the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. A true patriot of this country. I mean, anytime we have a meeting anywhere, you're always seeing this individual around. I'd just like to introduce you all to Councillor Kenwin Phillips, the Councillor for Manzanilla Fishing Port.
If you cut me, you go see blood. And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love. We are one people under the sun, one nation under the law. So who feel the black? Who feel the black? Who feel the white? Who feel the white? I don't know. But
Pleasant good night to our political leader, Ms. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, who was at our home, locked down and listening, members of parliament, members of council, special invited guests, and you, our hard-working supporters, concerned members of the public who came here tonight to raise their concerns of issues in our region. So good night to you. I don't really want to stay long here tonight because I know we have persons who will be coming to raise issues that
will be affecting us in the upcoming budget, and I too would like to hear some of the issues that they are here to speak about. Tonight I bring greetings on behalf of members of council from the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation, and tonight I just want to raise a little bit of issues that affect us as council members in the corporation. Now, a lot of persons believe that local government is not important. A lot of persons say that why come out and vote when local election is called? But I want to tell you tonight that local government is the closest to the people. When you open your door in the morning, you open your door to local government. From the picking up of your garbage to the cleaning of your drain, infrastructure works. Now, I heard my colleagues in other corporations speak about the Minister of Local Government want to open a special purpose company to build roads. Now, that is one of the rules and function of the corporation, to maintain roads that fall under the purview of the corporation. We have an engineer in the corporation and a technical team. So for me, I believe it's just another avenue for them to help their friends and family, because that is just duplicating one of the rules and function of the corporation. My friends, as a corporation for the financial year, we receive an allocation of $75 million to address issues in our region. Now, most of that funding go back to pay recurrent expenditure. Recurrent expenditure means the normal runnings of the corporation to pay workers. Now, we would receive an allocation. We receive an allocation this year, a little over 13 million to do development work in the region. Like say, the drainage and irrigation and maintenance of roads and bridges. And the allocation we would have received back in 2010 is a little less than we receive, is a little more than we receive now. Since we would have taken over the corporation, all the votes have been cut. Now, where we used to receive funding, we used to receive a little over 700,000 to do roads, and we're receiving 400,000 now. And that 400,000 is for our entire electoral district. My electoral district is over 7,000 persons in my area. And just imagine you have to choose roads, because everybody wants a box train, everybody wants a road paved. If we see what's going on now throughout the country, everyone complaining about roads. Now they're forgetting about the roads, they're complaining about water now. So I just want to draw to your attention some of the heads that we receive money on. We have for the year under maintenance of state traces recurrent. This is where we purchase fixer drain paver road. We would have received an allocation of 450,000 in the budget for 8 electoral districts. And when you divide that between 8 electoral districts, you see how much we get. Now, in the midterm review, we would have applied for a little over $3 million to meet all the shortfalls in the corporation. We have different heads here. We would have received 300,000 additional for goods, for material and supply maintenance of state traces. That is 750,000 now. Now, that is only allocation. Budget is the 26th of September. And all books in the corporation have to be in order, so because they have to lock off payment at a certain time. My friends, up to today, we have not received a cent on that material and supply maintenance of state traces. Now, this is where we fix roads, patch roads. Now, how are we as council members supposed to deliver to you when we are not receiving funding in the corporation? We might want to try our best as council members. We go out to Ministry of Works, beg for material, we get abused as council members, but yet we are not receiving the funding in the corporation. Maintenance of vehicles. Yesterday I called the public health department to ask them for assistance with the water trucking on them. And you know what they're saying? 2 water truck down. The one where we don't have money to buy diesel for it. One of the workers had to take $200 from their pocket to assist in putting diesel in the water truck to assist persons in the region.
True.
Now, this is where we reach. This is where we reach. Now, local government supposed to be the one to assist persons who are devoid of pipe-on waters. Right now, we are assisting everyone who is affected by this water problem in the region with one water truck. We are a population of 75,000 persons living in Toko Sangre Grande. We are the largest region when it comes to land space in the country. And we have one water truck to assist this whole region. My friends, as a people, we want change. We vote for change. And we need to stand together and send a message. We might want to help. It's only eight councillors and 4 aldermen we have in the corporation. We have 5 UNC councillors and 2 UNC aldermen. Now, we try our best. We try our best. We started stream our meeting live so the public can see some of the challenges we face as councillors in the corporation. And it ain't no easy road under this PNM government. And we can't be doing one thing over and over and over and expect to get different results. We are here as the converted. We are here as Team Sangre Grande, and it's only when we stand together and send the message, the people will know what's going on. We can't go tell your neighbor, tell your friend, let them know what's going on, because people don't know what's going on and feel the councillor don't want to help. The councillor don't want to send water, but one water truck, and every councillor is fighting for this water truck to service the burgesses. And that is just the public health department in the corporation. The technical department, no tools, no shovel, nothing to fix roads. What they're asking me, the road officer and them asking me if we can help them with a shovel, a 2 bucket. This is the roles and function of the corporation to purchase things for this. I have to go and beg Good Samaritan of Sangre Grande to get gravel, cement, steel to finish a box train. This is where we reach because the corporation not receiving the funding to assist in building the box train. The construction team cutting grass, the condition of the pavilions and them. We have $75,000 for entire year to maintain 70-something facilities, recreational facilities in the region. Manzanina, we had to put up a football competition for Manzanina Recreation Ground and do it in recreation ground in Sangre Grande because the pavilions and them in a terrible state. And this is where our young Anisha and young Dwayne Bravo have to play. Sports is a career now, and this government not seen it fit to release funding for us to fix our recreational facilities and them. My friends, this is where we reach, and we have to accept it. But election have consequences, and unless we don't stand and tell we neighbor when he get a box train, he come out and vote, or he get a hamper when he asks for it. These are just things, but what's the long run? I was reading before I come here, gas price going up at the pumps on them again. Gas price going up at the pumps again. Now, my times are limited. I saw MP Sambia, so I just want to say thanks, fellas. My name is Kelvin Phillip. I'm the councillor for Sangre Grande, Manzanina Fishing Pond, and I am UNC, and I am proud. I want to say thanks to my supporters.
Thank you very much, Councillor Phillips, for that very energetic presentation, really hitting at the heart of the issues that really affect most of the people who are in this particular area. I just want to say a special good evening to Mr. Neil De Silva, a silver medalist national athlete who is here with us and will join us, a son of the soil of Sangre Grande. So please give him a special round of applause. So now we have heard from some of the elected members and appointed members of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. And this evening we also, because we're speaking budget, we have to hear from those who don't wear political hats. And the first person who I'm going to ask to join me on the platform is Mr. Ricardo Mohammed, he is one of the founding persons of Sangre Grande, also a prominent businessman and a member of the Sangre Grande Chamber of Commerce, and I think Mr. Mohammed this evening will come to share with us his views in terms of what he expects of budget 2023 and some of the challenges that they face as business owners in this particular area. So Mr. Mohammed, please.
All protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. So I just want to make one little correction. So I'm not with the Sangre Grande Chamber of Commerce. Again, I'm former president, but I also sit as a president on another business organization, as a chairman on a confederation, as well as I sit as the president of the Sangre Grande in the school PTN. But tonight I stand before you as a businessman of Sangre Grande, someone who has worked abroad, came back home to try to make things happen, to ensure that we live the type of lives we deserve. I want to start by saying, no taxation without representation. We are not being represented properly.
True.
I would like to emphasize that in our diverse Eastern community, all businesses have a role to play in the economic growth of Sangre Grande. And I will tailor my talk specific to Sangre Grande and the budget that we have to deal with. We believe that employment is at the heart of our economic and social community well-being. In the competitive world in which we live, we cannot afford to be complacent anymore. We must focus on economic growth, which in turn leads to employment opportunities and improves social and community well-being, which in turn will help to reduce crime, as we know is a major problem and that affects business on the whole significantly. It is the businessman's continued vision to improve the standards of Sangre Grande and environments by being innovative and creative as we encourage businesses, small, medium and large, to avoid being complacent in these trying financial times. It's time to be proactive. We must change our mindset and say that we can, to maximize opportunity and potential for this town. To achieve this, we must collaborate and dare to be different and have the courage and drive and ambition to solve issues. More than anything else, it is my view as a concerned businessman in this town of Sangre Grande that the people of Sangre Grande makes this city and our county. People like all our businesses who have great ideas and an insatiable appetite for solutions. But I'm not just going to talk about budget. I'm going to give you some solutions and some ideas what I think we need for Sangre Grande, because we need to develop as a town. We have been neglected way too far.
True.
There are numerous endeavors the business community have been pursuing, and you won't hear much of it, but tonight I will explain some of these things. We hope that in the upcoming budget, considerations must be given in the following areas. In our last budget, education was 6.886 billion. Have we seen anything major for that? No. What is important, they have mentioned that the TT Wi-Fi to roll out free internet at all schools, health centers and transport hub. None of these have started. I sit as the president of this same school Parents Teachers Association network, and we haven't seen anything major. Broadband services to be delivered to underserved facilities. The pandemic has created challenges for our nation's children, and the business sector strongly advises that no child should be disadvantaged when it comes to securing the future of this country. We hope that the budget considers internet supply to all schools, upgrading all schools' computer facilities, and this must be done in a timely manner. We know that things are tough, And we hope that consideration should be given to internet grants for persons living in rural communities, lobbying for cheaper internet rates, and internet grants for single parents must be a priority. Recently, our business groups have been putting together funds, raising it, difficult funds to raise in a time of a pandemic, but we have provided Amazon tablets and funding and school supplies for a few primary schools in our Eastern District. Only today we have donated an average of 12 funds to over 4 different primary schools in this area. Health, 6.395 billion spent in 2022 budget. I haven't seen any improvement. I work in the health sector. We must, in this new budget, have an allocation for mental health programs for kids and adults, and this is crucial. The pandemic would have affected many persons in different ways. It has been proven that during the COVID-19 pandemic, there have been significant rise in anxiety and depression in our younger population. Not just Trinidad, this is a worldwide effect. What programs are we going to see to help these kids? We suggest a further provision of $200 million for COVID-19 relief made in this new upcoming budget, and a sustained vaccination program to continue into 2023 to meet WHO's target of a 70% as soon as possible. Works and transport, $3.577 billion budgeted last year. Well, I don't have to tell you about the potholes and the roads, right? But we are seeing projects. Diego Martin estimated $500 million. What's happening with that? We continue to support, as a business sector, the construction of the port in Togo, the building of the highways from Kumoto to Manzanilla, from Valencia to Togo, because these infrastructural works in our area will boost our economic growth. It will increase access. It will help with our growth and development in this part of the country, which will benefit all persons. Because once we can access different areas, we will get development. Before there was roads and no access roads, you will not see any development there. You might see a track, little housing. Once the highways start to run, it changes the game for this town. We need funding to aid in the traffic congestion through our town. You are going to run a highway into Sangre Grande and bottleneck this entire town. When you arrive at the current intersection, where are you going to go? It is our suggestion from the business community that an access road should be opened from Toure behind the Blake Avenue, connected all the back behind the Coca, to make it easier and accessible for people who are probably trying to get to the hospital, our newly being built hospital for this area. And we all know of the significant challenges on that Ojo Road in front of the hospital when school starts. Traffic, congestion. When we have a rapid increase of vehicles coming into the town, we will now suffer a significant bottleneck. We need to be consulted, we need to be part of the solution. Tourism development. This will be another area for which businessmen will address, since the people of our area are talented people and multifaceted. Our vision is to have an art and craft district to showcase our people's skills and expertise. Do you know how many persons in this district, Matura side, Sangre Grande, that has really good art and craft skills, make all these little woodcraft, and there's no way to sell it? They're on the side of the roadside, hoping that somebody who passes by, taking a drive going up to Togo, might purchase something. People cannot live like that. They need a place, a facility, where they can ply their trade, earn an income, support their children, support their community. Hence, once we start to develop these arts and craft entertainment centers, this will generate income and also provide employment. Development of our eastern shoreline for tourism. We sit on the eastern seaboard with the longest coastline in Trinidad and Tobago. Yet our development has been zero. When last have any of you all taken a drive to Manson or to Maya Road? How many potholes do you think you have to dodge? I myself have been victim to a pothole, dented rim, but no redress to that. We have to deal with it. This must stop. We suggest tourism tours to be revamped in the River District. Building of boardwalks where persons can enter into the river swamp and see our sea manatees and some of the native animals that we have in that district. We suggest fish festivals to be held regularly in that district that would allow people to want to come to Sangre Grande, to want to be part of those fish festivals. If you look at St. Lucia, there's a district called Grosley, and every single Friday is a fish festival. Do you know how much tourism takes place there? That's one of the things they tell you about as you land in St. Lucia. Go to the fish festival. We need to set up a good tourism group to push tourism into Sangre Grande. But one of the major trying things that we need in Sangre Grande, and it is crucial, is that we need proper parking for the town centre. It is my proposal that where the existing bus terminus parks all their buses, that should be converted into a parking for the town of Sangre Grande, which will also have some taxi services and maybe government offices if needs be. But we need to redevelop that. Those buses could park somewhere else and then come up to the second bus terminus to pick up passengers. We don't need to have the middle of the town as an eyesore, as it currently is right now. Agriculture, 1.249 billion, which we think a lot more needs to be spent in agriculture. We have significant inflation in food prices. Food prices have increased by 32% between 2015 to 2021, and between 2021 to 2022, a further increase. I don't have the exact figure. But we all know what happens when we go to the grocery now. We have seen significant inflation in food prices during the pandemic, coupled with impending world food shortages. The Eastern region, as major food growers for the nation, the business sector will continue to lobby for farmers to get more protection against theft and to help create avenues for successful farming enterprises. Access to water, development of roads and bridges are crucial to the success of the agri-sector in this town. But yet we have seen nothing. We believe that investing in the building of an agro-processing plant in the town of Sangre Grande can allow this sector to create employment, give us the ability to enter into export markets and earn foreign exchange as a community. We hope that the government pays serious attention to this as a main revenue earner outside the realm of the energy sector. As an experienced businessman in this town, last year I was very impressed with some young business entrepreneurs' use of technology in various aspects of business, especially in farming. And grant fundings is something that is necessary and essential to enhance new ways of farming. We have people here with chicken farms with fully automated systems that they can operate with their iPhone right here in Sangre Grande. We need to push this drive for maximum potential. Small and medium businesses, now I get into my sector. We have been promised 100% guarantees on SME loans and so on, and 50 million for professional support to SMEs. A lot of us have seen nothing. It is our mix of SMEs in the east that is the key to the success of this town of Sangre Grande. And as I say Sangre Grande, and I also be Sangre Grande and environs, from Tofu, Sanssouci, Maclot, Matura, Manzanilla, Plomita, Beach. We all consider that Sangre Grande, Valencia, part of one town. It is our small and medium businesses that give this eastern area its character, and we have a key role to play in sustaining and driving the place for people-centered development. Do you know, on a daily basis, all our businesses are approached by persons in Sangre Grande for help. The councillors come to us for help, and we help, but there is only so much we can do. We have a government and they need to support us now. This town is populated by many such entrepreneurs who have worked creatively and with determination to invest, build, and maintain livelihoods in the East. We have suffered during this pandemic. But how can we invest money and we're not sure what is the government infrastructures that they're going to put into place for us to grow? Support to the SME sector is crucial, and this is what we suggest. Pay our outstanding VAT returns to the SMEs. Some people did receive, but we would like to have our VAT returns. Many of us have not received since 2016, and trust me, we need the money now. And we want that to be accelerated. Grants for digitalization. Many of our companies now need to get on this digitalized platform where we can turn our businesses, you can go on online and shop and have it delivered straight to your house. We need that assistance. We want tax amnesties. We want realistic, low interest and interest-free loans to help jumpstart back this economy. We are feeling it. Building confidence and work ethics in this country must improve. We look into increasing exports in the non-energy sector, increasing our foreign exchange earnings, and boosting our agriculture sector. Imagine, we just heard from one of the councillors, Mr. Philip, $75 million budget for the Sangre Grande area for a year. Yet our Tobago counterpart with 55,000 persons on average gets over 2 points. It is our suggestion that Sangre Grande needs a budget of minimum $500 million to support this town. In closing, it is with pleasure and honor that I will continue to serve our warm and friendly people and the business community of Sangre Grande, Togo, Komodo, Manzanillo, Valencia, so that we will all benefit from a higher quality of life as we preserve to make our eastern town one of the best towns in Trinidad and Tobago. At no time will the business community of Sangre Grande become complacent as we strive towards excellence. We each have a role to play in growing our economy, to create employment opportunities, and to improve social and community well-being. We must fight tirelessly against complacency. We must have the courage to think big. Thank you very much, and I hope that all my suggestions are heard and reciprocated in Parliament. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed, for that very comprehensive presentation with some of your budget wish lists, and we are stating that those recommendations and ideas that you shared with us will in fact be recorded by the opposition of the leader secretariat, who is with us this afternoon, in order to record what has transpired here this evening. So now we have reached that part of the program where we want to hear from you. We're going to now open the mic, because we always have an open forum in these particular budget consultations, in order to hear from the ordinary man on the street what you are feeling, what you would want from the budget, so that, as we said earlier, it will be incorporated into our notes when we go into the Parliament to respond to the budget. But before we open the forum, I'd just like to welcome our General Secretary, Mr. Peter Kanai, who has joined us, and our PRO, Dr. Kirk May, who is also here with us to share. So Kenwin will be the one with the mic, and we have someone. Just when you're going to give your presentation, say your name, right, and the area you're from.
Mr. Joseph, Sangre Grande Corporation, Train Line. What I would like to say today, David Joseph, this corporation in Grande, I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
We need to get the roads. The roads are fixed. Because the road and train line, it ain't right. And we need to get the road fixed in Grande. All through Grande. They get all about the roads bad. We need to get the road fixed in Grande. And we need to get that done soon as possible. Because we ain't looking good. That's my contribution tonight on roads. And also, people need to know we live in a unity and a love with the UNC. Thank you.
Well, this one is about uniting the nation.
Pleasant good night to you all people. My name is Neil Silva, three-time Olympian. I used to live in Valencia, now I'm a resident of Sangre Grande. Is that? Yeah. I would like to talk rural sport. The reason why rural sport has brought people like myself, my sister Shani Silva, Anissa Mohammed, Stacey King, and an Olympic gold medalist in javelin. For too long, we have neglected sports in this area. Sports, organized sports, is something that we need to bring back in this country. And the only person that has been prepared to do that is Mr. Adam Roberts. All the stadiums he has built. Sangre Grande is a small area. We supply Valencia, Toco, and even as far as Miaro with facilities. Has not been given anything by the Ministry of Sports. Nothing. Under Mr. Roberts in the Ministry of Sports, I was a sports coordinator. And we have been given numerous to everybody in respect to sporting equipment, sporting clothing, balls, and everything. This era now is no more. What has to happen? What has to happen is that we have to understand that as the young people that we are blaming for crime, we have to protect them. And the only way we can protect them is by bringing them back to sport. Bringing them back to sports don't mean organized sports only. We have to start from the school system. When you go to the school system now and ask for athletes to come out to train, so for some sporting discipline, the first thing you hear is that they have a physical education teacher. Yes, all of us went to a primary school and we understand that we all played at some point in time in school. Yeah. Hello? Yeah. Hello? Most of us went to primary school. Some point in time in primary school, we played sport. And that was one of the most enjoyable thing. Now in primary school, we don't have that anymore. Now in primary school, we do. Check. Sorry about that. Now in primary school, we don't have that anymore. We have recess and children all interested in is going and eat, going to the cafeteria, doing what they have to do, and go back into class. We used to play rescue, catch, tell, everything. Now it's not like that. Phone has changed everything in everybody's life now. Even at home, phone has changed everything. Sports is one of the most disciplined things for a child. Karate, football, badminton, whatever you choose for your child. Cricket is number one. I mean, if you notice the guys, Bravo and all these guys, they're making money off of the sport now. But we have to understand through the corporation that our facilities need to be upgraded. I know that you all don't have the money. I'm pretty sure about that. But we need somehow to support the clubs and enjoy and encourage the clubs and them to do fundraisers so they can help you all. And I would like the corporation to do one thing for us. When you all are sending people to cut the grounds, please don't let them cut the ground when rain falling, because it costs the corporation and the citizens of this community here. Because 90% of the time that when the tractor goes on the ground, it mashes the grounds up, and we cannot keep nothing when that happens. So what I would like to happen when we come back in power So we built a lot of mini stadiums, which is with 6 lanes track for track and field, and put mini cricket pitch so that we can have cricket events at nights, so that everybody could begin, so we could do total sports for all. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you very much. Anyone else attending?
Yeah. MP.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Hilary Holder. I am from Duranta Gardens, which is northeast Sangre Grande. I want to talk about the situation with the roads in this area. As a matter of fact, all the roads in Trinidad are bad. There isn't a road in Trinidad I feel like you could drive on and you're not going to find potholes. And you know what is alarming and surprising to me? When I saw the Minister of Works was a Sangre Grande man, I really thought that the situation was going to change. But to date, I have seen no changes. I was born in a little village that it says behind God back in Grand Riviere, and I have not seen much changes on those roads. As much as we're talking about tourism and developing the tourism industry and all that, yes, I'm hearing budget after budget that we're going to get a highway from Arima to Toko, I think it is, but I have not seen that. And that is something that I really want to see addressed in this budget of 2022. Because just recently, my niece was walking through Grande and fell through a manhole and broke her hand. And that is because of the deplorable state of the roads. And it's something that must be addressed. Today I went through Grande. I haven't been going through Grande for a long time. Today I was driving through Grande, and the potholes, like, they even became more. And I'm not only speaking for Sangre Grande and Toko, because there's a show on mornings, the morning brew, I think it is, that they have Jason Williams to highlight the potholes in this country. And when you see the state of these potholes, it's enough to break your legs. And don't talk about the people who have cars and their vehicles. It's horrible. So one of the things I think we need to see being addressed in this budget is the situation with our main roads and even the access roads, because that's where we do the agriculture. I am not saying who did right or who did wrong, but I know you could do right. And I know you have the power and the authority. And you don't have to go and wave a flag and do what you have to do. But this is your finger. This is your power. And when the time comes, use your power. I just want to admonish you, you know what to do. Do the right thing.
Yes, good night, everyone. My name is Winston James. I'm from Valencia West. I'm a potential candidate for the local election coming up. And I have some concerns. Since 2015, when we lose the election, we have no representation in Valencia. None whatsoever. All we have is pothole, bad roads. Just the day before yesterday, once I was working, because I'm also the gas man, many people might know me there as the gas man. So I go through Old Valencia, through Komoto, Caratal, and all these places I work, right? And people have been complaining. Just the day before yesterday, in Valencia, a woman was telling me, over 3 years, they haven't got water in the tap. That is in San Pedro Road in Valencia. And I said, what? She said, yes. We just have to call the councillor, which is Simon. And Miss Simon Gill will call the water truck. And the water truck will come and deliver water to them. whenever the water low, they have to call on time, otherwise they have to wait a couple of days. She even tell me she have 2 children. She do C-section for this when she was making these children and no water. And I don't know how she make out. She had to go by she family and watch and do everything. No water. The problem that people facing in Valencia, simple thing that's supposed to be done, that any government who in power who have a heart supposed to know that is what the people need, because when you want their vote, you come, you walk, you kiss babies, you lift up babies, you promise, and after you get the vote, you just walk and you go your way. You see on papers, TV, and radio, and that is that. That have to stop. The only how it could stop is by when election call, we put our finger by the United National Congress and get these people out of office. Otherwise, we don't have nothing if we put them back there for 2030 or 2023, whenever the local election call. Right? I have 3 proposals of my own whilst I'm walking with the people and talking for the children. Now I hear about business, I hear about all different things, which is very, very good. What about our youths? What we proposing for our youths in the country? I ain't got no proposal yet, so I will propose something. 1, in KP Land Valencia, where I live, I would like to see an indoor facility so that when them children come out to play their sports indoors like here, we could sit down like when you're watching TV with the basketball team and etc. We could sit down as family, as friends, and watch our children and our family have their nice sporting indoors. So instead of have bad weather, be safe. In order, and once we have that too, the place must be so developed that if we have anything in Valencia, wedding, anything, that we could, if we keep it there. Children who coming from school and they don't have parents, so they don't have nobody to help them with their schoolwork, we could have a education center like Alta. Their son could come on evening and teach the children, and we have people in Valencia who are willing to give their little time so they could help the children with their homework, because plenty parents, maybe like myself too, the kind of work we get to know, I see my children coming home with, I know it's not more that. So we want to have people who can help them along the way. That is 1. 2, in or around Valencia, I would like to see a boxing gym, because you see the children fighting. Like in school is the only place they have to vent their feeling and their strength. So if we have a boxing gym in or around Valencia, that the children could come, or the people, whoever have the talent, come and you can have your exercise. And I'm talking about a something, not talent, fly by night, not talent. Alright, not talent, fly by night, something, just come if the rain fall, you can't train and thing. That is 2. 3, but the senior citizens and the young people. We have talent, and we have talent in a big way here in Sangre Grande and in Trinidad and Tobago. My next proposal for in or around Valencia again is a studio, because as I say, I've been around place where, according to the song, where angels fear to go. I go and sell my gas, and I see young people. They might be smoking, whatever, but you see their head and they're moving and they're chanting their song. Where they're taking that talent to their grave because they have nothing. When they come out, what we are facing us out there, we don't know who is who now. Imagine the children going to school now, going out to have a good time now. And you hear them shut down by the police officers and them. We have any police in here? Shut down by the police officers. And when you watch, now you'll see that the plant are gone by them. Why we couldn't put something in place to have them? so we could bring our children and grandchildren to a place that they could do something worthwhile. Instead of that, what Mr. Rowley and the PNM do, no offense to anybody here, they give them drugs, smoke, weed, no job. And I don't smoke as a Rasta, I don't smoke cigarette or anything. Okay. So in wrapping up now, I want to say thanks to everybody here who let's dance.
Yes, thank you very much. Before the next person comes on to the mic, I just want to welcome who's joining us. Senator Damian Lyda is with us. Give him a round of applause. I see also Councillor Charlene Luna and Councillor Renel, this one from the Mayor Regional Corporation. Thank you very much for joining us also.
Good night, everybody. My name is Malini, and I'm from the electoral district of Consultation, Anna Maharaj. So tonight, I just have something to talk about. Growing up, we have been taught and grown up with the mentality that education is the key to success. And as much as I agree, the question is that after we finish university, after we finish high school, what support system is there in place for us? Do we go to the corporation and beg for 20 days? Do we go try signing up for Sept? What is being provided? What is there for us? What allocations are being made? So that's just my question. And again, I'm from the electoral district of Consultation, Anna Maharaj, and I just want to say that whether you all know it or not, whether you see him or not, he's out there, he's doing the work, and he's put out his best efforts. Thank you.
A pleasant good night to everyone. All protocols observed because I think time is of essence. Okay, so I think this is a pre-budget discussion. I see members of NATEX here present with us. I see ministers, sorry, not ministers, but MPs. And I want to say, when the UNC officials making the presentation in the budget, I want us to take into consideration that the PNM has dashed the hopes of young people in this region. The reason why I am saying that is because when the UNC or the People's Partnership was in power, they gave us hope because we saw tertiary education brought to this region in Costat and down in Arima, which is close to us. We also had the UTT. The PNM has closed Costat down in Sangre Grande. So it means then that the young people, the young girl that came before me, she asked a question. The thing about it is, without a proper education, any nation is in trouble because it's education that drives a people. So, brothers and sisters, it is important that we understand how the PNM is dismantling the hope and the aspirations of young people in Trinidad and Tobago, and especially in this region. So, UTT in Arima has closed down. Costat in Sangre Grande has closed down. So the young people from Maclat to Miaro, Rio Claro, and other areas in the region, they have little hope. This is the right time for us to get rid of the PNM, to put back hope in our young people. And I want to say that in this budget that is coming, the UNC speakers must be very, very strong and let the country know that we have a plan. Because as long as they could understand that the UNC has a plan, I think they're going to put the finger where the finger is supposed to be placed. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to be too long, but I want to touch a very important issue. When the People's Partnership was in power, I don't know if you all could remember that the PNM, they get the forces and they march down at the waterfront in the thousands. The reason why is because the People's Partnership introduced something in the parliament that they call constitutional reform. So they brought a bill towards the constitution, and the PNM marched, they rallied because there was against a part of the bill that was termed the runoff. People can remember that? The runoff, meaning that in order for you to represent, you must get more than 50% of the votes cast. And in order to get that, you have to have a second round, but that is what they call the runoff. You know, when the PNM get into power, you know, in Tobago, they were the first to introduce the runoff. Up to now, the PNM is the only party that have the runoff in the policy. So it means then that the runoff, as far as the PNM is concerned, is good for them, but it is bad for the country. Ladies and gentlemen, I am fed up by the PNM, and I intend, in retirement now, but I intend this election's coming to put on the boots and to make sure that every Tom, Dick, and Harry that I know go and vote for the United National Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good night.
Before you leave the mic, just state your name for the record, please, what our proceedings are being recorded.
Okay, the name is David John. Okay.
Address.
I'd like to also welcome the chairman of the Mayaro Regional Corporation, Mr. Raymond, who's here, who has joined us. I see every time I look at the corridor where the entrance is, I see all the superstars walking in this afternoon. So thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Dr. Al-Mazur. My name is Bisham Duki, Electoral District of Vega Puch. I represent the farmers of the ASTT, Agricultural Society of Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to add and endorse also what my already former speaker said about agriculture. But there are challenges facing our young people who are not now getting into agriculture. Is that under my watch in this area here, I saw young people is getting into farming. But the problem is that they cannot get access to their property because of what? You also heard me before. I could talk about rules and regulations because that's already talked about. Also is that the high cost of chemical is a big challenge for farmers. I'm a farmer too. And I could tell you, when you go to the garden shop, you have to know what you're going to buy. Because sometimes when you buy, you have to put it back. Just like in the grocery, you have to put it back. Because the poor man can't afford to buy it. So I would like to see in this budget that they bring us to subsidize the farmers with their chemical. Okay, and I got to understand that gas is going to raise. That's going to affect the farmers because with the diesel pump, the gas, the tractors and all the equipment they are going to use, what's going to happen there with farmers? This is where you're going to trickle down the road. So I was wondering if the poor man had to pack up and the big boy going to buy chemical wholesale so they were able to plant the garden so the poor man can't buy nothing then. You understand what we want? Are they creating something for the bigger boys to buy their chemical wholesale? So this is my concern about the farmers in this country. Because anywhere you go, some farmers packing up, you see how businesses closing down. Some farmers, they're breaking even. They can't make nothing. Because I can tell you, I'm a farmer, and this is not easy. And you see the weather pattern changing. The kind of chemical you have to use to help you plan to cope with stress. The partner say about mental thing, but the partners go through stress too, you know. And you have to get the medication for it because it's a cost chemical. You have to, because pepper, I plant pepper, I plant uku, and I could tell you with pepper, what is happening to pepper. How it is built on you, just because of the change pattern that you are getting. So this is my contribution here, because what speaker already said on agriculture. But I would like to see something done for our young farmers who are getting into farming. Because I want to tell you, the MP, Kajaman, asks us, are you safe in this country? No. I don't feel safe because I was a victim of a bandit. Point a gun at me and say they come for the money. Young fellas come to my home, point a gun at me and tell me they come for the money. This is what you have to face in this country. Right? So I can tell the country this now, who are here now, an arm of bandits come to my home, point a gun at me and say, give me the money. Young people, what's about who getting retrenched and when they're going to farming, how they are going to make it. So this is my contribution here for tonight. Thank you very much.
Hello, good night, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed to all the various guys and girls here. Public speaking is not one of my strong points, but I have an issue with, by the way, I'm from the Sangre Grande South Electoral District. My issue here is with the children's school transport, which is non-existent in most of the rural areas within Sangre Grande, especially the beach kilometer area. Right? They used to have a maxi, now there is none. Right? For me and my two kids to reach Grande, right, on a daily basis for 20 days, for them to reach the school and I to reach Grande, where I work, it cost me $2,800 for 20 days, like without a sweetie here. That is without a sweetie. Right? And I don't know what is the problem, but it's hard on parents, low income, middle income families, where one parent might be working. Right? You know, $2,800 is a salary, a month salary for plenty of people. Right? And for you to just go in passage. Right? Where, as they say, where you do? Send the child to school or feed them. The water still, man, and we would lose as a country, as a nation. Right? So, I'd like that issue to be addressed, find out why the service is not being provided. Alright? And I also, on a different topic, I find it's illegal that you're paying for 90 days of water and you're getting 30 days. Right? You're getting 30 days. I don't know. Most of the water comes from God because you have to collect water in your barrel from the rain. So you have to give the pastors and them this money and forget water. You have to pay tithes and offerings and forget water because water provides water. So all reach home safe. Good night. Thanks again.
I think that contribution was for you.
Good night, everybody. Nice to see you here tonight. You look lovely. Mr. Ramrik Ramota from Guayco. I came with some solutions. A PhD candidate at UTT. We have a lot of manufacturers want juice stock to make juice. Let us dedicate a day for juice market in Grande. Or somewhere in Trinidad so that the farmers can easily go and sell their produce and the manufacturers can get it. You see, when you do that, it'll stimulate investment in juice. Right now they can't get foreign exchange, so they're using local stock. We have a next issue here. I do not like to owe anybody money. Do you like to owe people money? Then why should we vote for people to go in office and make us owe billions? I'm proposing, this is budget, right? We put the decision to borrow money in the hands of the electorate and take it away from the politicians. We allow you 5% this is new in the world. We want to, if you have a disaster, you're entitled to 5%, and then you can spend that on that. Okay, because we have a serious problem right now. Imran Khan of Pakistan, he borrowed $1.5 billion to substitute fuel, and they threw him out of office anyhow. In Sri Lanka, they borrow so much money, and they cannot even get money to import. We are here, but we have to hold the politicians accountable. It's always easy to get easy money, but hard to pay back. As somebody said, Royal Bank will move heaven and earth to give you a loan, but you will have to move back hell on earth to pay them back. We need to stop spending dead money. Dead money is money that you spend, you don't get back something for it. If you have Sept cutting grass, in a big disaster come, we can give people a bundle of grass to eat. That's not so nice. Suppose now we invest in rice and soybean. At the Kuva hatchery, we can build a soybean plant, soy milk. Import soybean from America, produce the milk for export. At the same place we can manufacture medical protective devices like face masks and gowns. At the same place we can build a kitchen products factory. That's equal employment. Why not in Grande? We can build a plumbing materials factory, shoe factory. We have about 100,000 children in the nation. How many of the shoes are made here? The government should lead out with private, give them a little loan, they have to put some, we put some. Let's have about 3 plants producing shoes. Book bag factory, where does the book bags come from? Yes, but how much employment is that? Where are we going to get foreign exchange to pay for it? Let us make book bags in Grande. There was a guy way up in San Souci up there used to make these bags. So we do have some roots. School uniform, we can manufacture the school uniform locally. We need to change the thinking of the government from just spending. Part of the budget should go into investment. Be wise like the Chinese. Start segregating garbage and recycle the same. And they pass around and pick it up and recycle it. And we get some money back from it. And we don't keep packing it up there and so on. We can have the UTT or DWI mechanical engineering graduates design a plant to produce segregated garbage. So we have a local capacity. So we can export this technology and products instead of going easily and get it from China or elsewhere. Install at least 1 turbine and 1 tidal turbine in this country. You have a lot of wind at Manzalina. Maybe it's not so frequent. Let me show you something. This electricity the prices will keep going up. So it means our cost of production will go up. Places like England and those who have been invested in renewable energies, their prices will drop. Because when you pay for a wind turbine, you reduce the cost of electricity. Start with one, as it pays money from TNTEC, keep investing. Likewise, also in the Bocas, you take some propeller blades where they scrap shipping from Bangladesh, and you put it, and you build a water turbine. Water is more viscous, more powerful, more reliable than wind. We have a lot of crime. Let us distribute the burden of that crime with religious bodies. Take 1 million. Say this is the denomination, we want you to produce anti-crime ads. Based on their percentage of the population, they can produce the same. And then we can have a bigger force fighting the crime. The Minister of Education is a Seventh-day Adventist. We want to know if she ever teach the children the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. If you teach the children of the nation that, we may have a more peaceful country. Stop giving foreigners a license to open businesses here that already have, like restaurants and supermarkets. Instead of give them business licenses to produce items we do not make here, like Christmas decoration and light bulbs and all of these things for export. You want a license to work in Trinidad and Tobago? Produce something for export. Don't come and produce what everybody, you bring somebody a license to make doubles. In that sense. We can have all restaurants issue a receipt with a VAT stamp on it, based on how much you buy. So the Chinese restaurant, who we do not know if they are paying any VAT or how much, we can be sure to get back from them. We also need to have VAT on rental of property. You, $1,000 a month, I give you a piece of paper, I stick a VAT stamp on it, just cross it out. So that we would get income. Look, Rowley is trying to get income from other means by a revenue collection agency. Maybe he needs to consult with a person like me and the UNC, and maybe we can help him. We can have investors to run the granulated sugar plant at Sept, which they closed down. Simply, government owns 35%, sell shares, use it to start the plant. Give them freedom to import the raw sugar, and if we own 35% with 15% VAT, that's 15% revenue, and we have jobs being created. Get out of the way of the petroleum company. Let the people run the factory, tell them we only want 15% VAT. The same workers run it at a profit, or if we close it down again. Get out of the way. What these big guys say, we hire the good guys and get off the way and let them invent and do things. We can also produce more alcohol for things like sanitizers. This Sasha Cosmetics man, he wanted to run this plant we had idle there. We need to build our dry docks, repair to refurbish ships. Right out there they talk about the lane passing. It could be 1,500 feet by 350 feet. All right, we use the deep section of between the islands there, create a facility. You know those ships are 1,300 feet now, right? And we can have that facility. And that's money. We can build a floating bunkering service offshore. There's some elevated piece of land, piece of east coast of Trinidad. Or even have a floating facility. Bunkering is the fuel the ship them use. All right? That is the process of giving them that. So we have that facility and we're getting income from it. Let us be creative. You said, I did not forget Tobago. The THA, they have, you go there and buy Beneseeds all the time. The Tobago doesn't produce 1 pound of Beneseed by way of the THA. Let them start in agriculture producing the Beneseed. That's, you know, the Benecake, right? Then they can make that and sell. One time Tobago is to be selling us food. The Tobago, they should invest in mushroom cultivation, Sangre Grande. All right? Tobago could invest in edible sea moss cultivation, fish hatchery, fruit production. They tell me they cut down, so I'm cutting down. I don't talk about the juice. All right, number 14 and the last one. Give a percent, we can buy the food from the farmers and you make a bag, melon, whatever have you. Give a percent of that money we have disability grants, right? Take a percentage of that to buy this food from the farmers. So we buy local. So we're spending one money, we get 2 benefits. The welfare people get in and the farmers get in. The farmers will produce more as they're able to sell. Okay? We have much more to tell you, but think about these things. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramuta. Well said. And Mr. Ramuta, I know you had to cut down some of your notes, but we will, if you can give us a copy of your notes, we will incorporate it into our record. Thank you very much for all of those who have contributed to the open forum. I think we had a very fruitful discussion. A lot of great ideas have been shared with us with respect to what we will be presenting come 26th of September when the Minister of Finance reads the budget for fiscal 2022-2023. We have reached the end of our program. I want to just ask Mr. John, who we heard from earlier on, to just give us a vote of thanks, and we will then end tonight's proceedings.
Okay, my job is a simple one, and that is to give vote of thanks. So I just want to thank the chairman of the proceedings, which is MP Saddam Hussein, all the members of parliament that is present, and I want to thank most of all our local representatives that made themselves available tonight, all the councillors and all the men. And we want to thank the person that provided the sound system. Without that, our meeting would have been very shoddy. So I want to say, and don't let me forget all of you who made yourself present here tonight to make this meeting a great success. So I want to thank everybody as we head to our homes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
So this brings us to the end of tonight's proceedings. We have several more budget consultations to complete all over the country. So on Monday night, the Leader of the Opposition will inform the membership and the residents of those various regional corporations where we will be heading next. We will be conducting these consultations until Budget Day, which is the 26th of September. So you can join us virtually if you're not able to join us physically on our UNC's Facebook page, our YouTube streams, and also on the other social media platforms from the various MPs, senators, councillors, all of them. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. Sangre Grande, you were excellent, and reach home safe. And long live United National Congress, long live our political leader, And while you make an exit, you will have refreshments outside. The councillors and all of them of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation have provided you with light refreshments outside of the venue. Thank you very much.
If you cut me, you will see blood. And if you squeeze me, you will feel the love. We are one people under the sun. One nation under